Josiah Sanders at the line with the basketball. I'm Bridger Cruz, with me Tyler Brewer. Thank you for joining us on another beautiful day to be in Richmond, Virginia. The basketball has been so good this weekend, and that continues. It's OTP 17U versus 1 of 1 17U, both Pro 16 teams vying for a good seeding for the finals in Bryan next weekend. Jack Sparks for OTP just had the lay-in. Now it's LJ Rush going to work against Jason Alexander. And back the other way now, Gregory Howard Jr. is blocked by Josiah Sanders. They'll end up calling a body on him. Too much contact. So glad you're with us today. It's been a great start to the day with some high-level basketball. First, it was Team Utah Black and Prominent Elite, two very, very high-level Next Pro teams went head-to-head. And after that, it was a thriller at the 16U division. Coos Elite took on Louisiana Elite, and Coos Elite gets the slim win by just 2 points, and it went down to the wire. Now with OTP and 1 of 1, both sitting in the same pool, vying for that good seeding for the finals next week in Bryan, Texas. And OTP a chance here with Colin Ross. Ross lays it in for the and 1. Colin Ross, a nationally recognized player, and his stock has continued to rise throughout the season.
And it's really just that ability to get to the rim no matter what. If there's a defender in his face, he will find a way. We've already seen a very aggressive dunk in this game. Now the N1 opportunity. Colin Ross making his presence felt early in this one.
3-star recruit. And right now, he's sitting in the top. He's sitting right at 152. He should be in the top 150 in the country. Jeremiah Jackson for 1 of 1. Dribbling the basketball up, getting it out to Josiah Sanders. Sanders with it, back to Jackson. His 3. Too strong off the iron, and Jason Alexander pulls down the board. Gregory Howard Jr. inside, and Colin Ross the two-handed flush. Good move from Howard to just lob it off to Ross and let him finish it. A timeout taken, so we'll take one as well. It's 11-16, 1 of 1, down by 5. A lot to talk about here in the break. Welcome back to Richmond, Virginia. I'm Bridger Cruz, with me, Tyler Brewer. And Tyler, for people that don't know, we talked a little bit about Bryan, Texas, and what will be going on there. Can you explain how the Pro 16 Finals works, and what is this event compared to Bryan?
Yeah, so right now in Richmond, this is the Pro 16 Pool Play Finals. So these teams are all playing for seeding, some of them even playing to just make it to Bryan, Texas, be able to compete for the Pro 16 title. But like I said, these teams playing for seeding, and that matters a lot. It could be the difference between getting the championship game and, getting eliminated in the quarterfinals. Just depends on the matchup and what you're able to do. So these teams trying to fight for the easiest possible pathway to that Pro 16 championship. That's not to say, though, Bridger, that it's easy at all. These Pro 16 teams are elite at all levels.
They absolutely are, and we're seeing this at firsthand right now as OTP and 1 of 1 continue to battle it out. And I wanted to touch on it. It was a great block by Colin Ross that he just had. Can he add the 3 to it? No dice. 6'10", still getting it figured out from the 3-point line. Cameron Fowler, he'll take the triple. He hits it. He's been good all weekend long from beyond the arc.
Yeah, Bridger, you pointed out in warm-ups too how he threw himself his own lob into a windmill dunk. Kid is just an athlete, just like Colin Ross is.
And 6 points on the day, all from dunks for Colin Ross. That is efficient basketball. Now 1 of 1 trying to work their way back into this. They trail by 5, 21-16. Jeremiah Jackson guarded by Sparks, and Josiah Sanders couldn't get the handle on it. Now Williams with OTP. It's not overtime elite. OTP, though, really a fun story with them. They are the first ever Next Pro team to be promoted mid-season to the Pro 16.
And they absolutely deserve it. This team is full of athletes. I mean, Colin Ross highlights it all, but they've got a deep roster. Jackson Williams, Jalen Alexander, just to name a couple guys. They are a very deep team, and they've been playing great throughout the course of this season, so why not give them a chance to go compete?
But not only have they been competing, they've been winning, and they've been playing incredibly well. That's Luke Lawson with the triple. Now it's a fast break for LJ Rush. Rush moving into the triple for Jackson. That won't fall. Rebound pulled down. Now it's a fast break for Williams. Inside, a good move, a little pump fake from Gregory Howard Jr., and OTP is able to lay it in. But yeah, it's a fun story because there's a video out there. You'd have to go way back, but to find it on the Pro 16 TikTok and Twitter and Instagram. But it's really cool. President Matt Reynolds decided that they should get the nod up to Pro 16 because that is the point. And we'll stay right here through the break. We'll just talk through it to give you this story. And that's what's kind of cool about Pro 16 and Next Pro basketball is you have the chance to move up if you are good enough. OTP was a dominant, very, very dominant Next Pro team, and Colin Ross was playing so well. They decided to move them up to the Pro 16, and they right now are playing for seeding, which means they've played well enough that they don't have to worry about making Bryan, Texas. They've already made it, which speaks to just how good this team is.
Absolutely, and that's what's so great, too, about the Puma circuit is everybody's going to have a chance to showcase what they got, what their abilities are. There's college scouts here for the live period right now. Great social media team we got going on, too, trying to highlight all these players from all over the country, especially when we're doing multiple events. So just a really good thing that we got going on here with Puma, and OTP is just a great example of what all that hard work can turn into on this circuit.
Absolutely it is, and both teams head out of the break. OTP just going to have to lob it all the way up to Gregory Howard Jr. Now grabbing the basketball, Luke Lawson. Lawson handling it back now to Howard. Howard with it, driving in. He can't finish it. So ball bounces around, and 1 of 1 will maintain possession. Where we're sitting, we can see that corner area until somebody stands up for 1-on-1. A little bit of a blind spot. But LJ Rush, no blind spots for him. Nearly the and one opportunity, but he'll have to earn it from the stripe.
A good job there from LJ Rush, using his speed to his advantage, getting to the rack, generating contact. Personally, I have never seen anybody faster with the basketball in their hands than LJ Rush. I think he can dribble it faster than I could run with him. An incredible athlete and an incredible point guard. He does a great job of facilitating, but he knows when to create for himself as well.
And he's so fast. And what's even more fun is how fast he is laterally. When you watch him on defense, pay attention to him if he gets into that situation where he has to be guarding pretty continuously laterally. He is so fast and so disciplined defensively that also helps him create quite a bit of offense. 3 ball go up from Nicholas McLean. It rims out. Offensive board into a bucket and more dominance on the offensive glass for 1 of 1. That time it was Isaiah Williams. Alexander getting it to Clinton. Just some ball handoffs. Now driving in. That's Howard. Howard, he'll take the jumper. It goes off the front of the iron. Boarded by Fowler. LJ Rush with the pumpkin. Now Fowler with it. That tenacious OTP defense causing some problems. LJ Rush is going to like to do it himself, and that's great defense from Miles Clinton. Clinton going to move the ball up through Howard. Howard keeps it himself, and he'll let his numbers get back. Wide open three-pointer for Jack Sparks, and they're going to have to guard him a little bit tighter.
Got to close out on shooters. It's tough when you get lost in the mess, but cannot be letting these OTP guys get wide open looks.
Howard, can he do it again? He can. Gregory Howard Jr. lighting it up from the three-point line. Too high of a pass from Fowler, and it's going to be a turnover. The connection from Fowler and Williams not quite there. A few substitutions. LJ Rush will come out. Sanders back in.
OTP doing a great job of controlling this game. 1 of 1, off to a hot start in this one. Scored the first 7 points of the game, but OTP came storming back. Colin Ross got them going, and now the team is behind him, and they're playing excellent basketball right now.
Colin Ross nearly got himself the jam. He sent to the line for 2. So dominant inside, especially with how good he is at positioning himself, and that's exactly what he did. He was able to get the ball against Josiah Sanders. He'd already had him beat positionally, and now he heads to the line to shoot 2. So Ross at the free throw line hits his first, and we'll have a stream here on Court 8 for every game of the day. We will always be streaming throughout the day. The games we broadcast, well, that depends on Tyler Brewer and I's voices and vocal cords. We've had a lot of games recently, so we're going to call as many as we can to still give you a good product, but just know any game that you'd like to watch, there will be a stream, and they are great basketball. It's great basketball all day long. If you go to the PRO16 League Instagram account, you can see the YouTube live stream graphic for this Saturday, and it is really, really good basketball. This is probably the best day and the best court of the weekend, Tyler. Would you agree?
I would absolutely agree, and if you don't see the team that you want to watch on YouTube on this court with our stream schedule, like you said, Bridger, on Instagram, check out the Synergy stream. You're going to be able to watch any court in this Richmond gym, so those are 2 options, great options to be able to watch whatever team, whatever athlete that you want to be able to see.
And again, just look, if you're looking for the Synergy link, go to the Instagram. It'll show up on a story on Instagram. Then you can go to the Synergy stream. Jackson Williams misses his first. And this has been fun so far. We've seen a few free throws that have kind of stalled out this game. But we've also seen parts of it that have been very snappy, and when this game gets moving, it really flows well.
Yeah, 1 of 1's a team that wants to play fast. LJ Rush and Josiah Sanders are guys that can think incredibly quick. They have amazing instincts, and so they're going to be able to play at a much faster pace than what some teams might be able to do. That's going to allow them to put a lot of pressure on their opponents. Right now, OTP has done a great job of playing their game. They've handled the pressure extremely well up to this point and are in control of things as it stands right now.
LJ Rush with the basketball, handing it off to Jeremiah Jackson. Now back to Rush. Still haven't done much in terms of a play. Rush is going to continue to dribble around. That is fantastic defense from Jack Sparks, causing all sorts of problems. Rush will put up the 3. It won't go. Rebound Sanders. Sanders pump faking against Ross, and a shot clock violation. Fantastic defense from OTP.
And I just talked about how 1 of 1 likes to play fast, but when you're able to guard LJ Rush at the perimeter like that, it will work wonders. And you just saw it right there. Works out well. OTP forcing the turnover.
So now for OTP, they find themselves on the offensive. It's Colin Ross spinning, and he can't lay it in, but he's fouled again. So Ross has spent a lot of time at the free throw line today, and Josiah Sanders picks up at least his second foul.
Colin Ross doing a great job of just generating that contact, but I really love the shots that he's able to get out of it. He's not had a shot right now while being fouled that I don't think he's really had a chance to not be able to make, you know? So Colin Ross doing a great job. Once those shots fall, he's going to be just getting and one after and one opportunity.
And OTP does a good job. They don't always look to target Ross. He's always a weapon that they can use, but when they do look to target him, it's not just let's lob the ball into the post and force him to work. They run schemes and they run plays in sets that work so well to get him open, so he doesn't have to work as hard all of the time. He can get open, he can do his move, and they allow him to work, and he doesn't have to fight against 3 or 4 guys to do it.
And that's what's so great about having the team behind your back. He can trust his teammates to create for themselves and work themselves. But whenever they need a clutch bucket, Colin Ross is right there, able to get something done.
LJ Rush with the basketball now, driving in the mid-range jumper. Too strong, bobbled around. Ross will pull it down. Up ahead pass now to Jackson Williams. Williams takes a step, can't finish, but the putback is good from Miles Clanton. Clanton, right place, right time. Nobody there for 1 of 1. 1 of 1 trying to return the other way. Ball bobbled around. McLean can't get his hands on it. It's back for the team in black, and Clanton again trying to make the move. He couldn't that time, and Jackson Williams missed the lob. So a flurry of an offense if possession ends and the ball going out of bounds for OTP, and now 1 of 1 will take over. McLean, his step back 3-pointer off the right side of the glass. Now Gregory Howard Jr. passing it off to Jack Sparks. Inside, ball bobbled around. Now it's a fast break opportunity. Up ahead, they're trying to find Rush. He gets picked off, and now Ross, another slam for him. What is funny about Colin Ross is it seems like he doesn't dunk because it's fun. He dunks because it's the most economical way to put the basketball in the hoop. Really not a ton of flash. He's just going to grab the ball, he's going to dunk it, and he's going to jog back down the court. But LJ Rush, there's a little bit of flash to him. That's a good 3-pointer from him, and they need him to get going and become an offensive threat. Howard, his 3-ball off 2 sides of the rim, and the rebound pulled down by 1 of 1. Jackson, skip past to Rush. He'll try it again. Same spot, same result. LJ Rush buries another triple, and number 5 starting to get hot.
OTP got to start closing out. They did it a little bit there, but you can't let LJ Rush get as open as he was on that play. Make sure you keep a guy on him.
Got a foul on the 3. So heading to the line, a 3-shot opportunity for Gregory Howard Jr. It was a good closeout. It was just right there at the end. They made contact with the hand. So Howard hits his first. And his second. Can he finish it off for 3? Jack Sparks checking into the game. A few more substitutions coming in. Colin Ross going to sit down. He'll take a break. Three for 3 from the line. Just did it the hard way. Gregory Howard Jr. finishes off the 3-point play. LJ Rush with the basketball. The lead beginning to balloon. That'll help take some air out. Nicholas McLean with a much-needed triple. And now tenacious defense from 1-of-1 looking for the turnover, and they're going to get it.
And McLean's a guy that 1-of-1 needs to get going. He's a great option for them. If they're trying to go to someone that's not Josiah Sanders or LJ Rush, he's going to be the guy that needs to step up for him. Sneaky good athlete. Really love what I'm able to see out of him, especially out of this weekend.
LJ Rush handing it off. And Isaiah Williams looking for something. Instead, it's Howard. Howard hands it off to Sparks, and Sparks can't hit the triple. Clanton pulls down the board again. Driving inside, he'll get fouled by LJ Rush. Miles Clanton has been great today in just filling the role of kind of the dirty work guy. He's going to go in and get your rebounds. He'll get some putbacks, and he's going to play really good defense for you.
And I just want to highlight something right there. Miles Clanton, 6'5", was almost blocked. I know it was a foul, but almost blocked by LJ Rush, 5'10". I thought LJ Rush was a post player for a second there because he's able to jump up and make himself so big. LJ Rush showcasing how incredible of an athlete he is there.
Absolutely fantastic athlete. You are correct. I would like to see LJ Rush on a track team, because I think he would be a fantastic 100, 200 runner, and I'd really be interested in looking at his long jump. Cameron Fowler back into the game with the basketball. Calling for the arm bar. I think there's a case for it. Jackson Williams, either way, very, very tight defense. Jeremiah Jackson being guarded by Williams again. Jackson misses the jumper. OTP pulls down the board. It goes out of bounds. And actually, it will be a foul on Cameron Fowler.
Not the spot you want to foul if you're Cameron Fowler, but it does allow 1-of-1 to get into their press. We've seen it a couple times already today where teams have not been able to beat the press. The pressure in the morning, maybe a little too much right now, having to move a little faster than what these players want.
And it's difficult to move in the morning, not only because it's 8 a.m., but because you've played 2 straight days of basketball already. Nicholas McLean, no foul called. Colin Ross pulls down the board. Now a fast break on the other end. Heading down and laying it in nicely, that's Jack Sparks. LJ Rush with it, driving inside. A good feed to McLean, and he misses the dunk, but he's fouled. So Luke Lawson, number 1 for OTP, picking up his first foul. But Tyler, you agree, you are an athlete, regardless of what sport you're playing and really what you're doing, waking up at 8 a.m. and then trying to do that at a high level. Sometimes your muscles and your muscles in your body just don't react well to it, for one, and two, mentally, you have to be so ready to play very, very fast basketball, and a lot of times that's really hard to do early on in the morning.
Absolutely, and that's where you need a great coach. All throughout high school, especially when we had early morning games, our coaches were making sure that we were stretching out and getting ourselves prepared to go. What I do love about the PRO16 circuit is once these teams get in the gym, they don't really touch a basketball even until 5 minutes before the game actually starts. So these teams are warming up, going through the motions, visualizing everything, and I think that has really helped them kind of prepare for their early morning games.
Colin Ross, too far out for the lob, so he'll just swing it back out to Sparks, and Sparks gets the triple. Long, high, arcing shot, it won't go, and that is halftime. 47-29, OTP, a dominant first half of play, and we'll be back for the second half for more here live on the Pro16 League YouTube channel. 47-29 is where we start half number 2, and it's LJ Rush with the floater. Josiah Sanders can't pull down the basketball. Clanton the up ahead pass to Jackson Williams. Williams to Ross. Ross misses the jam. Isaiah Williams nearly into our table.
Oh, come on, Bridger. Why are you running
Give me a
away from
second.
that ball? I just want it on the record that Bridger Cruz saw that basketball coming right at him and proceeded to lean behind me trying to find protection.
I did, and to defend myself, I had a player dive into me when we were in Memphis, Tennessee, and it hurt. It did not feel good, and the player said it hurt too. So I was just avoiding. Also, I don't know how they're holding onto that basketball. There is so much sweat on that ball. They really need to wipe that off. There's a lot of sweat on that basketball.
That's the analysis we need to start this second half, Bridger. But we had a great game between OTP and 1 of 1 right now. And I just want to ask you, Bridger, OTP got themselves off to a great start, mostly through Colin Ross, but the supporting cast has been playing extremely well. If you're 1-1, what are you having to do to get back into this ball game?
You got to be more tenacious on defense. There's not enough pressure on the guards. OTP's guards are able to kind of do whatever they want right now, and you're not cutting anything off going downhill. You got to step in front. You got to play help defense, and your defense has got to be tougher. And then offensively, you need to execute. You need to get plays going. You can't just have LJ Rush sitting at the top of the key trying to dribble around and create. He can't just constantly keep creating all the time. And a foul called on Jeremiah Jackson. Jackson, they're going to call him for a push, and that's a loss of an offensive possession. But yeah, more tenacity. That would be the 2 words that I would use for 1 of 1 right now. Inside the floater for Clanton. He gets his own rebound, loses the basketball, but a foul called. So they're going to pin the foul on LJ Rush. I don't mind that call. It's not a ton of contact, but it's been consistent. That's about what they've allowed throughout the game. So it's something that you should be expecting by the second half.
Absolutely. When a player falls over like that, you got to call something. It was either going to be a travel or a push.
LJ Rush with it, spacing the floor, now driving in. He'll kick it out to Sanders. Sanders wide open for the 3 ball. He can't hit it, goes off the back of the iron. Now Nicholas McLean with it, back to Rush. Rush thought about the 3, now to Fowler. Fowler into the corner, his triple, won't go, rebound. Bobbled around a little bit, McLean pulls it down. Ross with the block. OTP's Colin Ross with a huge block into the missed jam from Jackson Williams. And Fowler on the other end trying it again, got a little scared and the ball flew out of his hands. I don't know if it was actually he got scared or there's so much sweat on that basketball. It's like grabbing a bar of soap.
You know, every time you mention that, Bridger, I'm really happy I'm not the one to have grabbed that basketball.
There's just so much sweat on that basketball. But I don't really feel like a towel's gonna fix that issue. Like it'll fix the base level, but then somebody else is gonna touch it and it's gonna happen again. Now I understand why NBA players, you remember rosin?
Oh yeah.
NBA players big on the rosin. And then it's like a gummy substance. Makes your hands stickier and it's easier to hold on to the ball. And Colin Ross, I mean, he's just constantly looking for the basketball. The kid's a ball hawk. A huge block again for him. And he does a good job of when he gets up in the air, he's watching where the ball is, but he's also watching his man as well. So he knows just how quickly he needs to get up in the air.
And real quick, while the camera's pointing in this direction, I want you all at home, notice all the college scouts on the baseline in attendance. And when the camera pans over, just also pay attention to everybody up on that mezzanine. Those are all college scouts, college coaches that are in attendance for this game. So Colin Ross and everyone on the court playing great games right now, and they're doing it when it matters most.
Over 200 colleges represented, and then 8+ NBA teams also represented here in Richmond, Virginia. And Tyler, can you explain to the people who aren't sure, what is a live period? How does that work?
Yeah, so live periods are going to be when these college coaches are able to be in person and watch these high school, these AAU guys be able to play basketball. They're not allowed to contact them unless it's within the 3 live periods that the NCAA allowed. So right now it's a huge opportunity for these college coaches and these programs to send out scouts, send coaches, kind of be able to talk, see, and recruit in person. And then the NBA teams as well, they're just trying to figure out what these guys are like at an early level, get as much intel on them as possible. And a couple of them, who knows, we could see them be in the NBA real soon.
Absolutely, we could, and those live periods are for Division I colleges. So if you're a lower level than a Division I college, you can recruit any time of year. You can go, and there's really not a ton of regulations to it. You don't have to wait till a live period to come watch these events. But if you are a D1 coach, you have to wait till the certain live periods in the grassroots season. We've had 3 so far. 2, excuse me, this is 2. We've had Wichita, Kansas, which was a great event. I saw a ton of high major coaches there, over 200 again. And now we've had Richmond, Virginia as well.
As a guy that goes to school at Kansas, seeing Jack Vaughn in the crowd yesterday was insane. That was a real cool experience for me, and I wasn't even playing the game.
A lot of high-level guys here watching, and it's fun for the kids as well because they work so hard to be very good at basketball. This is such a fun reward for them. And Jack Sparks, he's kind of the spark, no pun intended, that has helped their team continue to be great. He's good on the defensive end. He's a good passer. He knows his role very well, and he just hits a clutch 3. Josiah Sanders can't get the bucket in the face of Colin Ross, and it's off to the races again. Luke Lawson lost the basketball. And it's 50-31, a 19-point lead for OTP. They've done a good job of just holding one of one at an arm's length.
Absolutely, and they just have been playing their brand of basketball. 1-on-1 we saw when they played West Virginia Gold, made it a really high-paced game, forced a lot of turnovers. OTP has not allowed that to happen in this one, and that's what's been really the difference.
Josiah Sanders showing off the vertical athleticism. He gets a 2-handed flush, nearly gets the block, but instead he'll be called for a foul. So Josiah Sanders called for the push. So setting up at the line now, Jack Sparks, he was the one fouled. Few more subs coming in. OTP currently 2-0 in pool play standings. They've done a good job so far working in their pool and just finding ways to win, is how I would describe what OTP has done. They've beat prominent, they're 1-1. Apologies. They did a really good job of beating Team Utah's Black 17U. And Colin Ross, a massive block on Josiah Sanders. Sanders can't get it to go again. And OTP might take back over. No, but it'll be 1 of 1. They lost to prominent elite 54-49 by 5 points. In their first game, they rebounded well. And then they dropped 54 points and beat Team Utah 17U Black 54-27. And in the corner, they could use a triple. They're not going to get it. Ross, the up-ahead pass. Good snag from Alexander. Into the corner, now driving inside. Howard. Lawson, his triple. Rims out. Ross almost batting that away. Howard, he gets another chance at a 3-ball. It won't fall. Rebound bobbled around and fought over, and Chad Graves pulls it down. Now Fowler's got it for 1 of 1. Going to work against Ross. The jumper over the head of 6'10" Colin Ross. That's a great move. Lawson with it now into Ross. Ross with Sanders, the skip pass. Looking outside, he finds Jack Sparks. Sparks hits the triple. A good find from Ross, and that's a good connection. Now Josiah Sanders giving way to the drive, and swift move into the reverse layup with the left, and a timeout taken by 1-of-1, so we'll take one right with him here live on the PRO16 YouTube channel. One of one calling the timeout. They trail by 16 points. Joining me today is Tyler Brewer. I'm Bridger Cruz. Tyler, have you ever been to Virginia, or is this your first time?
This is my first time, and when I saw the schedule before the season started, I only circled a couple of dates of, hey, I can absolutely not miss this date. Louisiana Monroe was one because I really wanted to see Duck Dynasty, but this was another because I really wanted to see, one, a live period, but also be in Virginia for the first time, and it's a really beautiful city.
It is. Richmond's a really cool city from the little bit that we've seen, and I'm from Nebraska, and so are you, and that's a great bucket from Jack Sparks in transition, but with that, there's a lot of corn, and there's a lot of flat, empty spaces in Nebraska. Seeing this many trees in Virginia is absolutely crazy to me. Like, I never thought I'd drive down the highway and just see nothing but trees for miles and miles and miles. That's just it. I feel like that's all that's here for a lot of it is just a ton of trees. But overall, I really like Virginia. I've enjoyed it so far. I'd like to see more of it because we've been in this facility a lot. I'd like to see more of Richmond, Virginia, but I guess we'll have to come back sometime.
Absolutely, and like you said, Bridger, just with what we've been able to see, it's been a great place. You talked about how we've been in the facility. It definitely could be worse. This is probably one of the nicest facilities that I've been to so far this season. Really love everything that we got going on here. This place has everything. So many courts for basketball, great concession stand, and there's locker rooms on locker rooms. This is where they play the A10 Women's Championship. So they got themselves a nice facility here. This
is probably my favorite that I've been to. The other two that were close would be Monroe, Louisiana. That was a great facility. And then Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee had a great facility. But I do agree, this very well could be the best facility that we've been to.
I will say Monroe probably had some of the best concessions food we ever had, Bridger. And we can talk a little bit more about that when we come back from the break. You're watching Next Pro Hoops on the PRO16 YouTube channel.
Back out of the break, 1-of-1 has pulled it back within 13 points, 60-47. A timeout taken by OTP. And we'll get back to being commentators instead of travel agents, even though, Tyler, I think that is our true calling, being travel agents.
It might be, Bridger, but we got a great ball game on our hands. We should probably talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah, we probably should go back to work. And for OTP, they just really need a bucket to establish themselves. Jackson Williams can't do it, but the putback from Jan Alexander, that'll get it done. And right now, 1 of 1 has been great on the offensive glass. They were against West Virginia Gold, but so far today, OTP's done a lot better job on the glass.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of that too comes from Colin Ross, just the size advantage he brings to the floor. But even without him, OTP's doing a great job getting in the paint, reading the ball off the hoop if it's going to be a miss, and they're just getting themselves in the right spot, putting themselves in position to give themselves second chance buckets, and they have been executing throughout the course of this game.
They have been, and they've done an incredible job of that and just finding creative ways to get things done. The coaching staff for OTP, one of my favorites, one to watch them coach because they are fiery. You know a coaching staff is going to be great when, wow, what a block by Josiah Sanders. But you know a coaching staff is going to be great, and LJ Rush, a wonderful triple, and 1 of 1 really starting to pull their way back. But as I was saying, one of them has a towel that she just uses. She's always wiping off her face, and she sweats. I mean, she coaches. She's always standing up, always walking around, competing, and I love to see a coach like that.
Absolutely, and like you said, Bridger, I just love the coaches on this circuit and how much they care. They know so much about this game, and they're just trying to pass it on to the next generation, trying to help these players get to the next level and just learn as much of the game as they possibly can teach.
LJ Rush fouled on the triple, and LJ Rush continuing to get hot. The further on we go in this game, it's a 12-point lead. They could cut this down to single digits. And Rush, he's so dangerous from the three-point line. You've got to be able to guard him and try to close out, but it's tough to try to stop when Rush is so quick.
And that's what's hard about guarding Rush is you have to step up and be there on the perimeter, but if you overcommit, he's going to be able to beat you inside and go get an easy layup. So you got to have quick feet, and you can't be leaving them when LJ Rush has the basketball.
Absolutely. He knocks down his first 2. Ross checks back into the game. He got a nice long rest, which I think will probably help OTP as well. LJ Rush, one final free throw, and he misses it. 10-point game, but Cameron Fowler has the putback, and he's fouled. So now we're starting to see 1 of 1 get back to being dominant on the glass, flying around, and starting to make some plays.
Absolutely, and just a great job there, getting the second chance opportunity, earning themselves another trip to the line. That foul call there, just an unfortunate play for OTP. Miles Clanton got just caught up with Cameron Fowler there. Luckily enough, Colin Ross was able to get there, get the block, prevent an and 1 opportunity, but just got tangled up a little bit.
So Fowler pulls things back with an 11. Ross, a good pass into the corner, now driving in, looking for the bucket, and he gets it way over the top of Josiah Sanders, and Sanders got up to block that shot. Now Cameron Fowler back to LJ Rush. Rush the basketball, back to Josiah Sanders. Quick move, he gets his pocket pick. Sanders onto the chase, and missing it will be Gregory Howard Jr. It'll go out of bounds, and it'll go back to 101. Quick inbound into the triple from Fowler. He hits off the front of the iron, and Jackson Williams will rebound. Williams dealing with some problems, and a foul called again.
And Bridger, I think we both had the same thought in our head when Josiah Sanders was going for that chase down block, and that was that he was going to get it. Josiah Sanders is an incredible athlete. We do a lot of research on these players. We try and go in depth, kind of looking at their high school stats and everything, and see what type of player they are ahead of these games. For Josiah Sanders, the only note we needed is freak athlete.
Yeah.
That kid is an incredible player. He's going to make a college program very happy.
He definitely will, and he's continuing to progress with his quick decision-making as well throughout the year. I don't know about that. Cameron Fowler. Great block from him. They're going to say he got him on the arm. We didn't have quite the angle the referees did, but you can see the face of Cameron Fowler and what he thought about it.
Fowler has had a great weekend as well. We talk about a lot of these athletes on one-of-one. Cameron Fowler is nobody to scoff at. He's done an incredible job this weekend of filling in that role, making three-pointers when they need to be made, and he's an incredibly good defender.
So Clanton sinks both of his free throws, therefore solidifying that it was a foul. LJ Rush driving inside, stopping because he sees Ross there. Now he's in a little bit of trouble. He's able to get it out, and that's the effect of 6'10" Colin Ross. You can see LJ Rush drive, and he sees Ross come over, and he knew he just had to stop and kick that ball out. Rush from the three-point line. He likes that spot. Jay and Alexander now the basketball. Into the corner. To the wing. Jackson Williams misses it. Colin Ross pulls it down at the rebound. Everybody kind of stopped playing. I don't know if everybody was expecting a foul, but no foul called. Gregory Howard Jr. again, and Cameron Fowler deflects it out of bounds. Jack Sparks to inbound the basketball. He finds Jackson Williams. Williams to beat the shot clock. He can't. And now the up ahead to LJ Rush. And he gets a rim grazer. But they're going to call a travel. So a costly mistake for LJ Rush. What would have been a short 2 points ends up in a turnover. Sparks now the basketball. Dribbling it around, trying to find somebody. He'll find Ross. Ross with it. Pivoting around. He can't get the shot to fall, so Sanders pulls down the board. Sanders moving the basketball up the court. With his left hand and laying it in nicely. A great drive from Josiah Sanders.
Josiah Sanders making it look easy there, fighting through contact, using the left hand, a confident take, and a great finish.
Inside Jackson Williams, he'll get fouled. Williams fouled by Josiah Sanders. So Williams misses his first. 1-on-1 trying to make this move to come back into this one. They've pulled it within 10. And OTP hasn't really let it get any closer than that. They've kept it pretty close to 10 and just at double digits.
OTP doing a great job of keeping 1-of-1 just a little outside of arm's reach. They've controlled the pace of this game throughout from the very beginning.
Josiah Sanders step back triple, hits off the left side of the rim. And the rebound fought over LJ Rush. I think that'll make up for his turnover. Now Jack Sparks. Back to Gregory Howard Jr. A little bit of a press being shown for 1-of-1 again, trying to apply pressure to OTP. Williams calling everybody off. He gets the screen from Ross. Inside to Clanton. Clanton loses the basketball, and it's a give and go to Rush. Rush against Ross, hands it back off. The three-pointer off the front of the iron, and Ross will pull down the rebound. So OTP going to slow things down. 67-58. It's a 9-point game. 1-of-1 slowly starting to come back into this game. And again, another chance at it. Nicholas McLean, the shot rims out. He probably should have just dunked it. Miles Clayton finding an open Colin Ross inside. LJ Rush bats the ball away. And another chance for OTP. Second opportunity that's been missed for wide open layups for 1-of-1.
And I'd like to apologize right now to OTP because I feel like I jinxed them talking about how they've controlled the pace of this game. But 1-of-1's been able to put the pressure up, generate some turnovers here in just the past few possessions.
Gregory Howard Jr. being guarded by Jeremiah Jackson, and he'll head to the stripe. Ton of fouls. OTP has been living at the free throw line. So he hits his first, and Cameron Fowler will check back into the game. Quick substitution, taking out Isaiah Williams. Finishes off the pair, and now 1 of 1. With the basketball on offense as time continues to tick off the clock. OTP up by 11. Josiah Sanders inside. Man, he wanted the jam. OTP, a chance with it again. Howard, he gets a jumper, and it's a great-looking jumper from Gregory Howard Jr. And again, we talk about how quickly OTP can score. That's a great example of it, and Cameron Fowler matching the pace. He lays it in with his left.
Absolutely love the pull-up shot there from Gregory Howard. Understood the situation, understood his spacing, and was able to hit a big shot.
And it's the 3 ball from Jeremiah Jackson. Cameron Fowler can't grab the basketball. 1 of 1, another chance with it. Jeremiah Jackson, he'll drive in, take some contact. It'll be on the floor, and a foul that will go on Gregory Howard Jr. One of 1 to inbound. They find LJ Rush. Rush, his triple, right wing, won't go. It'll fall out of bounds. Fowler can't dive for it. Fowler could have made a lasting impression with the college coaches and dove right into them, but I don't know if that's the impression you'd like to make.
Yeah, I was about to say the exact same thing there, Bridger. Don't know if that's the best for him or the coach's health.
So another foul on 1 of 1. And those cosmic uniforms. We really should ask what if there is an official name for that jersey style.
You know, I like the name that we've given him.
I really do too.
I think the cosmic look just plays well, especially with guys like Josiah Sanders and LJ Rush, who are playing out of this world.
Yeah, we're going to be back on the PRO16 YouTube channel after this. Just 42 seconds remaining in regulation. And the denial already starting for LJ Rush. He gets a turnover, needs to finish. He can't, but a foul called, so LJ Rush gonna have to earn it at the line. LJ Rush, much needed free throws here, down by 10 with right around 37 seconds left. Rush needing both of these free throws to come back down 10 in less than a minute. It is an incredibly difficult task.
Calm, cool, and collected is LJ Rush. He's trying to will his team back, and they did a great job getting the turnover that they needed to start the possession, and then drains both free throws.
So now it's 8 points. OTP just has to relax and let some time expire, and they should wrap this up. Gregory Howard Jr. with the basketball. He'll drive inside, look to kick it out, and that's what he'll do. And now the fouling will begin. LJ Rush fouls. The 1-and-1 potential, and a yes, it will be 1 of 1. So yes, 1 of 1. We were talking, we were trying to figure it out, and yes, 1 of 1 is what we're gonna do. We are in the bonus. Jackson Williams at the line to kind of seal this win for them. So OTP will advance to 2-1 on the season, on the weekend. And then 1 of 1 will drop to 2-2. And this pool really still wide open. And it's continued to be exciting to watch because all of these teams in this pool are very, very good. And it's a good kind of indicator of how the finals could go. As if we take a look at it, it's 1 of 1 OTP, SA Future, West Virginia Gold, Chapman Basketball, Team Utah Black, and Prominent Elite. A very, very solid pool. And Colin Ross will jog down after the missed shot from 1 of 1 to kind of tie the bow on this game and get the win over 1 of 1.
And you talked a little bit earlier about Colin Ross, how he dunks. He just does out of efficiency just because it's the best shot. He's not doing anything too flashy. That really represents the game that OTP played today. They did everything that they needed to do to win this game. Nothing too flashy, nothing crazy. They just played great fundamental basketball, and it worked out well for them.
That's a really good point. It was fundamental, nothing crazy. They did their sets well. They ran in transition well. They hit some timely shots, and that was really about it. And for OTP, they continue to be a force. Moving up to the Pro 16 circuit midway through the year, their hopes of becoming a Pro 16 champion not only remain alive, but only get better with every win they have. I'm Bridger Cruz, with me Tyler Brewer, saying so long for this broadcast live from Richmond, Virginia on the Next Pro YouTube channel.